Senator Moran.
Senator Fisher, thank you. Mr. Law, I'm going to direct this question to you. Welcome to the entire panel. Thank you for your presence today. In 2011, the FCC adopted a rate floor policy that denies USF support to carriers to the extent that they charge rural customers less than the rate for local voice service for the average urban customer. The FCC froze the rate floor in 2017, pending a rulemaking to reconsider whether it was still necessary, and if so, how it should be calculated. This freeze is scheduled to expire July the 1st of this year. And in the absence of FCC action, the rate floor is expected to nearly double to meet the average urban rate of 2019. That has significant consequences, I would think, in South Dakota. It does in Kansas. A Kansas statute, in fact, requires the carriers to authorize rate increases 45 days in advance, with the Kansas Corporation Commission essentially shortening that deadline, July 1, to something less than that. Otherwise, we've got significant harm to our Kansas consumers. The FCC has indicated an intent to address this issue, but nothing has occurred to date. And I would ask for your description of this issue, what harm would result if this freeze is not extended, and the timeliness, the importance of its timeliness of that extension.
Thank you, Senator Moran, for your question. Yes, the clock is also ticking rapidly on the increase to the local service rate benchmark. To work the calendar backwards for you, you're right. It's by July 1 for carriers who receive USF, such as a Golden West. We have to have it in place by June 1. And in South Dakota, we need to provide a minimum of 30 days notice, so that would be May 1. As you mentioned, in Kansas, a 45-day notice. And so the clock is ticking rapidly, whether the rate goes from $18 to, I believe, $27, and that does not include all of the other fees. I am hopeful that the Commission understands the urgency for rural consumers in what I would believe to be somewhat of a messed up scenario for local service rates that shouldn't overcharge rural consumers who still choose to keep a local landline phone, charging them $27 plus the fees that go with it, I think is absurd.
Thank you for your comments. I'm hoping that I can use this, your testimony, and I'm hoping that the FCC will pay attention and act quickly. It also has a self-defeating apparatus, which is another reason not to have a landline, which is the source for the Universal Service Fund revenue to begin with. So we're in a circle that could be very damaging.